I'm not saying we're number one. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. We're numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's right. It's time for another episode of Command This. It's Whip 'em Out Wednesday on a thirsty Thursday. Get ready, because thank goodness it's almost Friday. We're on the downhill slide. How many more random old hacky radio bits can I whip up in 20 seconds? We'll find out next. Hit 'em, Steve.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is recording this on June 14th in lieu of a live stream for Thursday. So we're doing some pre-recorded content here. This is episode 202 for your boys here at Command This. Thank you for tuning in. That was Phil on the intro. I am Steve, and we got Dev kicking it with us today on this fine midweek recording session. This is episode 202 for us, 202. The DC area code. If you don't know, now you know. And I'd like to start out by saying it's also National Bourbon Day. So happy Bourbon Day. If you choose to partake in such things, sip, sip, chim, chim, cheers.
I've been drinking. That's why my glass is so low.
There you go. National Bourbon Day. So yeah, lots happened since our last show last week. We'll just quickly start out by talking about training camp 2023 training camp. Dates have been released, whether you know it or not. I hope you do know it because they're here and it's free for you to go as a fan. The training camp dates are open to the public out in Ashburn from July 27th all the way through August 19th. And of those practices, 12 of them are open to the public. All you need to do is go to commanders.com and get your tickets now. And it's going to be pretty cool because when you go out there, if you've never been, highly recommend going. It's a little walk from the parking lot, but they're putting up these bleachers that will hold at least 2,000 people, which that was one of the complaints before. If you notice, they're listening to feedback. It's hot out there. There's nowhere to sit. You have to bring your own little garden lawn chairs. But they're putting up stands on the sideline for people to watch. And I think that's just pretty cool. And they have some themes that they're kicking out. So Saturday, July 29th is called Back Together Saturday. I imagine that's like welcome back sort of thing. They all start at 9 a.m., every single one of them. The next theme day is Tuesday, August 8th. That's Salute Day. That's probably a military appreciation day. Wednesday, August 9th is Kids Day, which can be pretty cool. And that is it. There's a bunch of frequently asked questions. Anyway, you go on, reserve your tickets. You can get up to 6 tickets at once for each day. So yes, pretty cool stuff.
I did petition that they'd have a command this day, and they said they could give it to us on July 32nd. And then I realized what that was.
A non-existent day.
Womp womp.
Sorry. Not happening. Yeah, training camp should be fun. Hopefully, if nothing else, I will try to go since I'm very close. Hopefully Phil can make it. I doubt we'll see Dev up for training camp, but we got to find a way to
could not have lined this up any worse. Like, the training camp runs exactly the 3 weekends that I'm out of town.
Yeah, and if you want to go during the week, you got to take off work, which makes it even harder.
And I've already taken off work for at least one of these trips.
Yeah,
taking, because I'm the mileage man over here. Just going up and down. Well, mostly up and down I-81, but still. I was like, I looked at the schedule. I was like, yes, no.
But they're pretty adamant about no video cameras. So if I go, I'm not really sure what that means as far as what can I can take photos. And they're adamant about no filming versus 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, and that's always been a standing rule. So if you've been before, that's always been a rule. But I don't know if I've ever seen them no video camera. So Probably no GoPro.
I can attest to this, having gone to training camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, no videos during 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s. They do not want to give away anything except what they want to give away on video because their camera shots are so zoomed in that you can't see formations, you can't see patterns, nothing that can be used, that could be yanked off the internet by an opposing team to see what new wrinkles and installations you put in there. So that's kind of been a standing rule. If you ever look at my stuff that I've taken from camp in previous years, if you've been on the Addicts page on Facebook, you will have seen me post a lot of stuff up there. Never any video of actual scrimmage type situations. It's always individual drills.
And a team and someone from the team will usually come by and say, "All right, cameras away. No filming." On the frequently asked questions, it says, "Capture of photos or shooting a video, including on cell phones, is not permitted during team portions of camp, which is 7-on-7, 11-on-11, special teams, and installs. A member of the commander's staff will inform you when the portions of practice in which photos are permissible have concluded. The use of video cameras is not permitted in the general area." So is a GoPro a video camera? I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So I guess
It
you're limited to your cell phone then, I guess, that's the assumption. You can bring a cooler, which is pretty cool. No alcohol. They're specific about alcohol or external food. Practices are rain or shine.
Some drunk ass would jump out there trying to beat Derek Forrest and pick off a pass.
Of course. No pets. There are porta johns. Season ticket holders will apparently get in select business network memberships will get a separate communication for VIP access to training camp. So that could be pretty fun.
Having had VIP access in the past to training camp, now I went to the last one they had in Richmond.
Yeah. Bon Secours? Was that the facility?
Secours.
Yeah, Bon Secours.
That was lots of fun.
Yeah.
That was the first and only one they had under the Jason Wright regime. I was there the day where Jay Wright and Rio and all of them were dancing to Outstanding.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
That was the day I was down there, and they had a whole bunch of us. And that was actually my first physical face-to-face introduction to a lot of our fellow podcasters out there, fellow social media people. And it's funny because I got to hang out with Rio, hung out with Keith and Jesse, and I got to hang out with a whole bunch of these guys. That's the first time I ever met Josh Kirby too.
Yeah.
Amazingly, you know who was there, and I did not even see them.
This is Richmond of last year?
Richmond
or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Was there? Is this a content creator or?
Oh yeah, we know him very well.
I didn't see him.
Anton the Boss. What the fuck's he been in?
Dude, he fell off after his first year. Anton the Boss. He's supposed to be some Madden.
Anton the Boss. Yeah, where's he at?
I have no idea. You notice the team hasn't promoted him in like 2 years. They gave him his own show.
Mr. L.E. Suggs.
I met him last year at training camp.
He was there. Nowhere for me to find him, and I was like, "Damn, I get to meet all these people out here that do these pods, that do these shows, and I can't even meet my own former co-host."
Yeah, that's funny. Dev, for the record, Anton the Boss still has Anton the Boss 1.18 million subscribers on YouTube. He's still making videos. Now he's doing some 2K stuff, but I don't see anything related to the Commanders on his site anyway, outside of a couple Madden videos, like not related to the team, but just playing the game Madden. So yeah, that's interesting. They gave him his own show and everything.
Zero content towards them.
Disappeared. So that must not be a thing anymore. So okay, Anto. Nice to know you.
They should bring Devin.
No, man. I'm way too not PG enough to be on a Washington.
Hey, what? Debbie in there playing. As Jacoby Brissett is his quarterback. Maybe like, y'all know. They sell cockroach milk.
I'm still having fun with Madden 23. I started a season with Sam. I'm doing fantastic. It's on.
I'm in a.
Go ahead, Dan.
All right, I'm sorry.
No. I said I haven't changed the difficulty level. So it's whatever the medium difficulty level is. I don't know what that is. All pro. I left it. I'm doing really well. Sam has like 4,000 yards. B-Rob has over 1,000. It's like I think I'm in week 13, 14. Yeah, it's okay. Some games are hard, some games are not, but I probably should up it a little bit. But I'm a casual. I don't play Madden like you do.
I'm playing 24 right now.
How did you get the beta code?
You got to fill out for it every year. Like the year comes out, fill for it again.
Interesting. For Xbox?
Yeah, I'm playing right now. I'm in the conference finals, in the NFC championships against the Cowboys right now.
Played a whole season.
My first time. I can't turn around, get banned.
Yeah, my
first time playing it at all. I haven't played online at all. I played one of my friends has it also, so I played him a few times.
Yeah,
but I'm like 10-7 right now, man.
Nice. And this Madden's going to be cross-play. So we could actually play PlayStation to Xbox. Very cool. Very cool. Moving on to the next topic. The NFL has issued a notice to the team that owners should be available they issued a memo on June 9th to be available between July 20th and August 8th for a possible meeting to vote on the approval of the sale of the Washington Commanders from Dan Snyder to Josh Harris. That's pretty awesome.
Round of applause.
Round of applause. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Yes. And so if you don't know this, the team was sold in, I don't know the word I'm talking about, in theory, in perpetuity, in whatever, for $6.05 billion back in May 12th. 20 limited partners. So that the NFL had to vet all these jokers, figure out if they were the right people. They weren't illegal money. They weren't mythical money like Brian Davis. But the main players were Josh Harris, Mitchell Rales, and Magic Johnson, as we all know. But what happened was, I guess the NFL wasn't comfortable with some of the private equity that Josh Harris was using to get this team purchased. And so what he's doing is selling a lot of his personal stock that he owns in this company. What's it called? The NFL was a little concerned about the company called Arctos Sports Partners and Aries Management, that they did not want the team to have a perception that they were privately owned by any company. They should be owned by a person or people, not a company. And so what Josh Harris is doing is he's liquidating stock from his company called Apollo Global Management to boost his liquidity and cash, just so he can make sure that he has the majority of the money. He's the majority owner, which is minimum 30% of the team to be a majority. So
gotcha.
Pretty cool.
Blah, 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 financial talk, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah,
But
blah,
but
blah.
I've heard nothing about him having to divest his ownership in the Steelers. Zero. I don't think he has to.
I don't think he still had it, did he?
I don't remember. He's a
I
minority
think he did
owner.
divest himself of that a couple years ago,
Yeah.
like in 2019 or 20. He was part of that ownership group for a little while, but I don't think he's in there now. They wouldn't let him do that because that'd be such a conflict of interest.
Yeah. You guys see the graphic floating around about that owner? What's his name? He owns the Nuggets. Stan Kroenke.
Stan Kroenke,
Isn't that insane?
which is funny because he's an asshole.
His teams have won back-to-back. They've won NFL, NHL, and now NBA 3 consecutive seasons. So he owns the Rams. They won the Super Bowl with arguably one of the best halftime shows. One of the best halftime shows, not the best. We talked about that last time, if you guys remember. The Rams won in 2021. The Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup last year. And then the Denver Nuggets just waxed the Miami Heat.
Waxed them.
waxed him. Pow! Wasn't even funny.
Washed.
It wasn't funny.
Wasn't even
Miami's washed.
I should have been someone else than Miami, but that's some dominant ownership. That's insane. That's just, some of these guys on one team he owns, let alone he owns 3. But just the nature of the beast.
Well, we need to kick something off for old Josh Harris since he's got ownership in 3 different leagues as well. Sixers, the Devils in hockey.
And not to talk about Wizards news, but apparently we have a new owner, a new GM who came from the Clippers to run football operations. I think he's vice president of like Monumental Sports now. And Bradley Beal is now apparently okay with trade talks. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not holding my breath.
I want guaranteed top 3 picks for the next umpteen years.
Yeah. he did waive he said he's willing to waive his no trade clause if it comes down to it. So I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
I like Bradley Beal, but they just need to just completely blow it up at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Next thing I want to show is, for those you don't know, there's Councilman McDuffie. Councilman McDuffie. Okay. He seems like a great dude, but he's capping to bring the team back to DC. So let's go ahead and listen to this real quick.
Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie here at the old site of RFK. And when I look at this site, I see 3 things. Number 1, I see the fences coming down and the asphalt parking lots disappearing. Number 2, I see housing across income for all Washingtonians. I see jobs and economic opportunity right here at this site. And number 3, I see the opportunity to hit the refresh button to bring the Washington Commanders home where they belong so we can get back to the winning ways, days of Super Bowls with Doug Williams, with Art Monk, with all the players that you'll remember, the Hogs and everybody.
Put your vote where your mouth is, Kenyon.
Interesting, though, right?
Put your vote where your mouth is.
Yeah. So we don't see a lot of politicians capping for the team. Now, this is probably all
bull. I am going to call bull on that right now because 2019,
okay,
Muriel Bowser stood there next to Dan Snyder and was like, "It's about time we bring the Redskins back to Washington, D.C."
But then she changed her tone when all the shit came out, right?
Because she's an opportunist.
Okay.
To hold on, anything for the Empress to hold on to her throne.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, all right, as the DC native here, I've got mayors that I've loved, mayors that I haven't. She's on the haven't list.
Yeah.
Never been a fan. Just saying. So people understand, never liked Muriel Bowser. I like Adrian Fenty. Love Tony Williams.
I don't know him.
Marion Barry. You know Marion Barry, right, Dad? Everyone knows Marion Barry.
Yeah, I know Marion Barry, yeah. Done crack, didn't
he? got voted back in office.
Spoke crack,
got his still voted him back. That's a line in this song called Welcome to DC. But yeah, so this video is just opportunistic, you're right. But it's cool because in the days of social media where everything's out front and foremost, and he's capping, wants the team to come back to RFK. I don't know what power he has within the legislature to push for stuff like that, but
voting for budgets.
I'm tracking.
Here's the thing. All right. Okay. So do you know who owns RFK right now?
It's not DC United, is it?
Snyder?
Events DC.
Events DC. Okay.
All right. Now, Events DC owns that site until 2038.
Oh.
They're leasing that site until 2038. They have a lease with the National Park Service. See, that's the other thing, is that all that land is owned by the Park Service.
Right.
Right. And Events DC has a lease for that site. Now, they're the ones who are going to be executing the demolition of RFK.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really on Events DC and the city to come up with some way of, and the commanders, to coordinate some way to make this happen. All right. Because I don't think Events DC is just going to give up their lease on property they've been paying for nothing. They're going to want money out of this, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think the commanders are going to pay them money just for, they're not going to just pay them money to get out the lease and then pay for a lease on the land to build a new stadium. Because you're just adding costs. So it's going to be some kind of trifecta here where the city council, well, actually, I should say, it's going to be more than a trifecta. It's going to be a four-way deal because you're going to have the National Park Service, so it's the federal government,
Yeah,
the city council and the mayor's office,
Mm-hmm.
the Washington Commanders, and Events DC all have to coordinate on a deal to make this happen.
if they choose RFK as the site.
Well, if they even want to venture into that idea.
Right.
So if it doesn't end up being the RFK site, best believe it will probably be because it will probably not happen for the reasons of you can't get four parties to agree to something.
Well, on that note, so before Councilman McDuffie went public, the new governor, Wes Moore, also went on all the local stations in this area explaining why the commander should remain in PG County. And so the response to that was Councilman McDuffie's rebuttal of why I should come back to DC and specifically RFK, because he also wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post saying why, same thing. He feels it should not just be a stadium, it should be housing, it should be shopping, it should be, all these things, economic growth in the area. But what hasn't come up lately since those two things is anything from Virginia. So now I think the media is waiting for Virginia to come out with something. What that is, no idea. But so you got Maryland that chimed out last week, DC this week, and Virginia's been kind of quiet. So I guess we don't know. Virginia, you're on the clock. The clock is ticking. So let's talk about some hard knocks here, fellas. First and foremost, do you want this team to be on Hard Knocks? Dev, does it affect? Do you want them to be on Hard Knocks?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I do. I want them to be on Hard Knocks.
I'm with you. 100%. I would be ecstatic to watch them on Hard Knocks and have a show to look forward to every, what did it come out? Thursday nights? I don't remember. Follow them all the way through training camp into the preseason, to have that documented that we can always go back and watch it. And if you've watched Hard Knocks, I don't know how many Hard Knocks have you guys seen. I don't ever miss Hard Knocks.
I don't think I watched the last one.
With the Lions, it was great.
I did watch that one. I'm wrong. I did watch that one.
Yeah,
I didn't watch
Dan, what's their coach's name? Dan, Lions coach.
Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Every one of his coaches is a former player. It's the only team in the NFL to have every major coach as a former player. Kind of.
Well, ours isn't the former players.
Not all of them.
I'd have to look.
Oh, the major ones are.
Some have just been.
They're talking about all of them, all the position coaches, everything.
Yeah,
I think all of ours are too, man.
Jennifer King is not a former player.
It was just a philosophy he installed, was just having players as coaches. They turned it around in 1 year, but the thing that I like about Hard Knocks, regardless of the team, is that it's produced so well, and it really shows goods and bads of a team. Because right now, in the national perspective, we're just seen as bad. You're starting to see a little more positive light in the media, on national media, which is rare. And I don't know how to feel about it because I'm not used to it. But you want to see it more. People are still saying we're going to finish, 28th in the league. I don't see that. I'm sure you guys don't see it either. We did our record predictions. I think I said 9-8. Dev, I
ended up at 11-6.
11-7. I think Deborah and I were close for 9-8 or 10-7. We were right there. But we got national media saying, "Oh, they're going to finish, 5-12, and they're going to pick
They
Caleb
do
Williams
that
in the draft
every
next year."
They have done that.
It's a lazy
every
take.
year with us. It's a lazy take. Part of me agrees with you, and part of me is like, nah.
You don't want
let
it?
them see it coming.
Oh, let it just
don't
hit them
let
like
them
a ton
see
of
it
bricks.
coming. Just quietly build everything up, and then when week one comes, just start punching people in the mouth.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you didn't get to see all Mike Tyson's camps before he went out there and started blowing people away.
Yeah.
True.
You want to come out of nowhere like a young Tyson, just like, oh, who's this kid? You want people to look out and go, who's this team?
Yeah.
Just start beating on people. And God, that's.
I guess you're right. You're
I
right,
have a
Phil.
very violent mentality when it comes to that, but I always believe that you don't let them see you coming. Keep it mysterious.
And I guess if they see it, they'll know what to expect. They'll know prior to any game or like, oh yeah, we saw that on Hard Knocks, so now we know that's their mentality.
Yeah, but I don't think the mentality is going to change. Well, then again, let me stop myself. I was going to say I don't think the mentality's changed, but that offensive mentality has certainly changed with the old enemy there. He is the 180 from Scott Turner.
That's true. But listen, knowing's half the battle, right?
And knowing is half the battle.
we know that. We know that now. I'm just trying to find another reason to use that other sound clip we just found too. Just waiting for the right time to
not gonna miss my shot like Hamilton.
Yeah, but the other teams in contention, the Bears, the Saints, and the Jets, according to AJ Perez, they don't want it. If you're asking me who should have it out of all those teams, storylines, people would probably defer to the Jets because one, it's New York, and two, it's Aaron Rodgers, and Robert Saleh's a fairly decent coach. He did a lot with that team with not a lot of talent. So
I'll be honest with you.
Give it to DC, man. Give it to us. I want it.
If this ownership deal had been finalized 2 months ago, I'd be cool. But this ownership deal is going to be finalized
possibly in
July. During camp at this point.
And Phil, usually the team is announced for Hard Knocks. It's already done. It's done at the end of May, beginning of June. We're already at that point. So why haven't they announced it yet? It has to be us. It has to.
I wish.
It has to.
We're going to see how shitty the inside of the former Redskins market. I don't want that on camera.
And I get it. You're like, don't.
I want to give ownership a chance to fix these things.
Yes, before it goes to the mainstream. Yeah, I'm with you. They're going to see the standard, everyday, run-of-the-mill stuff. Yeah,
we have the press conferences are here, and a whole bunch of stuff is stacked. A whole bunch of crap is stacked. Boxes of crap are just stacked against the wall over here behind the camera. Oh, we'll see that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to see that the wizard ain't real. That's just the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Don't need that. Sometimes the illusion is better. But I also understand what you're saying. I would love to see Hard Knocks just so I could get an opportunity to really see our team spotlighted. Like there is that part of me too. But I
think Jason wants it too.
This is the year.
Next year would be prime, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see a new ownership with some footing underneath of them and an opportunity to start making changes instead of them before they've had a chance to make any changes.
Well, according to Pro Football Talk, article written by Mike Florio, the NFL could tell the Bears, Saints, or Jets, tough crap. You're taking this. You have no say because you can say you don't want it. You get selected and you get it. But the Commanders are the only ones who haven't actively come out and said, we don't want it. The other teams have said, we don't want it. But they also said that
Florio, first of all,
said that
secondly,
I know the best option for the NFL would be the Jets, because the Jets would produce the highest ratings, perhaps the most Emmys for HBO and NFL films. But is that the best selection from a
But wait a minute, though.
story?
Would it produce the Emmys just because it's being held in New York?
The Aaron Rodgers has a huge appeal.
I think we have a more compelling storyline with the new owner.
We probably do with new ownership.
After all, and they can
yes.
tell the story.
Yeah.
They can tell the story of 2+ decades under the regime.
Yeah.
Despotic regime.
Straight up.
Daniel Snyder and this new owner walking in on his first day on the first episode of Hard Knocks.
Of how bad it's been.
You could do that too.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the best thing. I'm throwing out ideas because I'm playing devil's advocate with myself right now, live on air. You could do that. You could make it to where it's all about it's dawn. The day hasn't started yet, but it's dawn. The light is starting to crack over the horizon with a brand new ownership after just the doldrums of the past 24 now years of
it's a
Dan
better
Snyder.
storyline. You're right. Dan Snyder's gone. What's next?
If
what
Roger Goodell really wants to see this franchise succeed, then he would make sure that they walk in with this as the storyline. The thing is that despite everything I heard, I just don't get the feeling the league ever wants this franchise to be good.
Possibly. You're possibly right.
Why else is it that all the other owners get the shit on this team from atop their committees?
Well, you said something earlier that makes me think why it might. Now, I'm just selfish. I want it now. But why it would make sense next year, and hear me out, why I think you've sold me, is because, one, what you said, the ownership has a year to fix all the bad shit going on now. Two, either this year we're going to do, you're going to see like some fireworks from Sam Howell, or he's going to flop, and we're going to have a new head coach next year, which even further says we should be on Hard Knocks, or we're going to play our asses off, and then it's just going to be on an upward trend. Like, man, Sam Howell in his first year starting, wins 10 games and everything's on the up and up. Or it's, hey, Mr. Fill in the blank here is the new coach for the Commanders, new ownership, everything's rebooting. So either way,
next year makes more sense.
Next year might make more sense.
Either it's brand new everything, or next year is the next big thing has arrived.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Well, we are the next big thing.
Yeah.
If we do well this year, we are the next big thing in the league. And I love the concept that we are standing on that precipice. We are on the razor's edge. You can fall either way at this point. Either you completely collapse, or you are the next big thing.
Yeah.
The Rams of a couple years ago, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Bills.
I think you said it last week. You were flashing some records of teams who have been on Hard Knocks. Was that you?
Yeah, it was all over the place.
Yeah. Okay, so there's no predictable trend line to attach to Hard Knocks.
There isn't. The only time a team's been had a really good record was the Cowboys. Was it last year, the year before, or something like that?
Yeah, and they were like 12-4 or something like that. And
no, it was last year. They were 13-4. That was the first time. That was the first time we had a real dominant record.
Cowboys were last year.
Oh, please.
Hold on. Cowboys Hard Knocks. Cowboys Hard Knocks 2019. So right before COVID, they had the COVID season of Hard Knocks.
Okay, I take that back.
But still, they went into that year.
No, 2021. I'm sorry, I didn't look at last year. 2021, the Cowboys went 13-4.
So 2 years after their Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
So here's your records. I'm going to repeat this again and go and listen to how weird this is. This is 2012 through 2021.
Okay.
2012 Dolphins 7-8-1. 2013 Bengals 10-5-1. 2014 Falcons 7-9. 2015 Texans 9-7. 16 Rams 4-11-1. 17 Buccaneers 7-7-2. 18 Browns 10-6. 19 Raiders 8-8. 20 Chargers 9-7. 20 Rams 9-7. 21 Cowboys 13-4.
It is all over the place. If you would do a graph plot on that, there'd be no trend line. It'd be like a lightning bolt.
So,
did you know that? Do you know who narrates Hard Knocks? You'll never guess.
remember.
You'll never guess.
Bob Saget.
Leave Schreiber, if I'm saying that right.
I don't know who that
Yeah, I
is.
knew it was somebody like that. I just couldn't think of the name.
Every year since 2001, he's narrated the show except for one. And Paul Rudd did it the year that the Chiefs were on it because I guess he's a huge Chiefs fan. So, but yeah, Liev Schreiber is the narrator for Hard Knocks. I did not know that. Now I'm gonna have to watch it and look for it. And Amazon, they tried to produce their own competition, but it was in the middle of the season. You guys remember that?
Yeah. All or nothing.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
All or nothing, and they do mid-season coverage of the teams, and
They still do a bit. They do a mid-season. They do a mid-season Hard Knocks now too.
They do now, yes. I think that's the competition to the Amazon Prime thing, or whatever it was. Yeah, and what did you call it again, Nev?
Everything
all or nothing.
All or nothing.
Yeah, I think that was their competition. So
I think
that's right.
Now here's the thing: mid-season might be perfect for the Commanders.
You think so?
Oh yeah, especially if they come out the gate hot.
Yeah.
You give that ownership a couple months to kind of marinate in there a little bit. Yeah.
It'd be a soft landing to a Hard Knocks coverage, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very intriguing, nonetheless. We'll see. I'm still pushing for it. I think it would be kind of cool. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Not sure. But so the next topic, real quick. So last year we had a dog as a mascot. So we had Major Tuddy, and then we had Mando. Mando was our team dog. He was a black lab, beautiful dog. But then he went on to be a service dog for a veteran in need. And what the team did, now they have a new dog. So I'm assuming every year they're going to do this, which is okay. I get it. Kind of cool now. I don't think it was publicly made known to us. Like this is.
I believe I remember them saying something about that.
Yeah,
with Mando.
But this is what they're doing. I'm not hating it. But what I want to show is kind of a cool thing. Ron, what he did. Tell me first off. I just want to see your raw reaction. It's a 1-minute video. You tell me what you think about it. We'll go from there.
It's gonna be stupid. Oh, yeah, I seen this.
Yes, hello, it's Goldie there. Hey, Goldie, this is Coach Rivera at the Washington Commanders. How you doing? Now listen, pup, we got an opening. And right now we think we got an opportunity to draft you and have you become a commander. No, that's right. We want you to be a commander. We want you to be the team dog. We have an opening. We lost our guy last year, Mando. He found himself a home. He's got a veteran to take care of. He was outstanding. Did a great job for us. So you got some big paws to fill. But Goldie, we really believe you're the one who can do it for us, and that's why we're bringing you here. We love those cute smiles, those licks on the face that you do. Boy, you're going to bring some happiness and some joy to a veteran for us. So we really need you to be out here and be part of our team. All righty, kiddo. Look forward to seeing you. All right. Congrats again.
Kind of cool, and you know what I mean. But I guess people were a little bit corny. People were clowning, not in the comments a little bit, but
that's because our fan base loves to hate.
They do, and
come on, if you're gonna be mad that we're gonna do something like this, look, we're gonna be basically bringing up these dogs, and they're gonna be with a trainer, and the team's paying for it for this dog to be trained to be a service animal for a veteran.
Yeah,
if you're going to hate on that,
it is a little cheesy that they made Ron do that, but it ain't that big a deal, right?
Ron was on the 85 Bears and then Super Bowl shuffle. All right, I don't think he has that level of shame.
Yeah,
that would prevent him from doing this.
Jim McMahon and his mullet and sunglasses and headband.
From the QB, they call McMahon.
Follows me on Twitter. Probably follows a lot of you too. If you follow him, he will follow you back on Twitter. By the way,
I better get on Twitter then.
Good Twitter follow. Jim McMahon will follow you back, whether it's him or not. I don't know.
Actually, I should follow Jim McMahon because he was the guy. Honestly, all side story here. Jim McMahon is the guy who made me believe that I could play football at all. Because if you know why Jim McMahon always had the visor on his helmet.
Eye poking?
He's light sensitive.
That's right.
Because when he was a kid, they were messing around with something and he jammed a fork in his eye. So it made him very light sensitive. That's why he always wears sunglasses and he had the visor on the helmet. All right. I have similar problems. I was born with a cataract in my right eye. All right. And for a long time, I was told, you'll never play sports. You'll never do any of this. And I was like, F this. I love sports. So I played baseball, played football, played basketball, did all that. Now, the depth perception thing, because I was later to doing it, I didn't develop it as early. So I guess I could have never been a quarterback. Plus, I'm a big dude. But I played line. But
I don't know, the Pillsbury throw boy.
Jared Lorenzen.
I'm not 6'8".
Kentucky great.
But, nonetheless, but like that story made me go, you know what? If he can do it, I can try to do it.
Yeah.
Because why not? I was always told, oh, you won't be able to do this. I'm like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. My dream as a kid was to be defensive end for the Washington Redskins. I wanted to be Charles Mann.
Mm-hmm.
Now, didn't happen.
Shout out to Jim
I was able to at least try.
Yeah.
Get
it affected your life.
Until I lost my medical clearance my senior year because of the eye. Because they were gonna operate on it.
You should tell him this on Twitter, Phil. You should. If he influenced you that much.
I know he never played for us.
You should, yeah. He played for a lot of people after the
Bears. He played for a lot of teams, though.
I don't even remember where he went to. But
the Eagles.
The Eagles.
That's
Jets.
right.
They go to the Jets.
He was with the Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings.
Statistically, he was never really that good either.
I'll tell you what, he was good in college.
Yeah,
everybody was good in college.
Go look at his numbers at BYU and look at when they were done.
Yeah. Brian Bosworth was good in college too.
Yeah, Brian Bosworth didn't win a Super Bowl.
He did not, but he also didn't have Walter Payton. But Jim McMahon is an iconic quarterback.
60-some yards in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, true. Or Richard Dent, or was Ron on that team?
Ron was on that team.
Ron was on that team.
He was on that team.
Maybe
Jim can introduce you to Ron.
Linebacker. He became a starter. Do you know when he became a starter?
Who?
Ron Rivera.
85, 83? I don't know.
No, it was after the Bears let go of Wilbur Marshall and we got him.
Oh, old number 58.
Yes.
He came to Washington.
There's your other tie-in of the Washington Redskins / Commanders to Ron Rivera's career.
Yeah, it's a connection. For the last note on Goldie, though, so Goldie's an English yellow lab, 4-month-old, by the way, and doing skills training. And like we said before, Goldie will be a service dog. We'll be with the team for the season, then we'll turn back to canine for Warriors, and we'll be paired as a service dog for a veteran. Mando also did the same thing, and they brought him back to Walter Reed, and they presented Mando to a needy veteran.
Is Goldie spaded or neutered, though? That's the question.
Usually they are. Usually most of them are.
You don't want service dogs out there losing their course because they're horny.
Right. No, you don't.
But you know what? If you hate on this, there's something wrong with you because This is doing. I mean, it's a cool thing to do. All right, and the team's doing it.
Yeah.
Coming out of the team's money. They're providing a service that's needed, and it ties into the whole Commanders theme.
Yeah.
With helping out veterans. You can't hate this.
I'm trying to figure
The
out how
video
that.
is corny. The video is corny, but it was
how's that-
corny in that cute way.
How's that dog going to help?
It doesn't help the team. I mean, it helps for a community service cause. I don't know what it does for the team per se.
What are they doing with the dog community service rods?
Well, I mean, they're giving it back to a veteran in need. You know, they're having it as
Deb
a
wants to
mascot.
know what a service dog does for a veteran.
Oh, it's so a lot of veterans who have like traumatic.
I get that, but how does
PTSD.
us having the dog help the veterans?
I think it's just for them to give back to the community. So look what
So
we're
they're
doing. We are veteran friendly.
Are they going to purchase a dog and give it to a veteran? Is that what they're doing, or is the dog going to be hanging out in Washington football team?
Well, it says they're going to be. The dog's going to be with the team for this year.
All right, but how does that dog being with the team help a veteran? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It doesn't until they get it. Well, what they do is
trained.
Let me finish.
We're paying for the dog to be trained.
The team's partnership. The team is partnered with Canine for Warriors. It's spearheaded by the Washington Commanders Charitable Foundation. Last year, they donated $40,000 to Canine for Warriors, and Ron Rivera donated $25,000 that he got from the NFL Salute to Service Award, and so it covers Goldie's expenses and making sure Goldie is trained to a high standard to be given to a veteran at the end of the season. So I think it's a whole mix in, sort of thing.
Why not? I don't think there's anything wrong with this.
That dog's going to be showing his ass all year in Washington and be trained up for somebody else. So
yeah, that's what Mando did.
Sounds like Pierre.
That's what charity does, man.
Sound like Preston, down in Green Bay to me. I shouldn't name him that.
What, you train him and give him to somebody else?
Right.
That's what we did. Preston Smith.
Preston Smith. That's what you should name that dog. Preston Smith. Let's train him up.
We found someone for you. Next topic, Dev. I think this one will hit home with you quite a bit if you can read this. So there's still a bunch of free agents left. There's a bunch. Should the Commanders take a stab at any one of these remaining free agents? I'll just read some in order, 1 through 20. DeAndre Hopkins, Dalvin Cook, Ben Jones, Marcus Peters, Dalton Reiser, Yannick Ngakoue, John Johnson, Taylor Lewan, Adrian Amos, Eli Apple, Melvin Ingram, Javavian Clowney, Ezekiel Elliott, Casey Hayward, Kyle Van Noy, Justin Houston, Matt Ioannidis, George Fant, Rashawn Evans, and Teddy Bridgewater. These free agents are still available. Dev, should the team take a swing on any of these dudes?
They're all kind of old. I would probably kick the tires on Jorge Fant.
Dalton Reisner.
So Dev would be into a 31-year-old defensive tackle, George Fant.
I'm sorry, I'm wrong. I thought it was offensive lineman. That's not offensive tackle, George Fant.
It says DT. I can't. No,
he's a 76.
DT.
Yeah, but George Fant, I thought he was a offensive tackle. Am I tripping?
I'll have to look it up real quick.
Yeah, that can't be right. I'm not tripping.
Dalton Reisner. Dalton Reisner. He's a guard. He's 27. He'll be turning 28 this year, so he's in his prime.
Nah, I don't want no more guards, man. Adrian Amos would be dope, but we don't need no more of those.
You're right, Dev. George Fant is a lineman.
Yeah. I mean, he was
too small.
He went to Western. He never played football at Western. Never played at all. Played basketball, and he went to the Seattle Seahawks in like the first, second round. Never played basketball.
And before anyone says Taylor Lewan, have you ever looked at his knees?
Yeah, he's a good podcaster, but we'll leave him at that.
I take it back. I'm going Jadeveon Clowney as a rotational guy or Zeke. Personally, Zeke. I think they're the best players out of all those guys. Honestly,
yeah.
Ben Jones. Ben Jones is a guard, right? Or is he a tackle?
I think it's interior offensive lineman. Not sure which.
Is he interior? I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember Dalton Reisner had some high marks coming out of college.
George Fant just made like All Pro a couple years ago, didn't he, or something like that?
Did he? Remember Eli Apple, Ohio State product, went to the
Ben
Giants.
Jones at center. No.
Went to the Giants, and he's been that dude's been passed around.
I go
You like
Jadeveon
Apple?
Clowney. I go Jadeveon Clowney, man. Just because I know he has.
I would say Dalton Risner.
He's only 30, and he's going to be able to play both defensive ends behind Sweat and Young if they were to need some rest or be injured.
Yeah.
At a starting caliber, that would be awesome to have in a 3-man rotation at defensive end to match our three.
Kyle Van Noy also intrigues me.
That's who I was going to say. Kyle Van Noy, or I don't know much about Rashaan Evans, but he's a linebacker and he's age 27.
Yeah, but Van Noy, I like his body of work better.
And he's a middle linebacker? Inside? I don't know.
Inside linebacker.
Clearly, linebacker's not the. I
mean, want to play two at a time, so I don't know.
I mean, it's going to be Jamin Davis, and who's the other one? Cole Holcomb's is on the Steelers.
It looks like it's going to be Khalid Hudson.
No, it's that dude we got from the Seahawks.
Barton's been running with the twos. Big dog, you've been watching. Barton's been running with the twos, and
Cody?
Khalid Hudson. Yeah, Khalid Hudson been running with the ones.
Man,
that's what's been
God,
going
you
on.
will get your dream if Khalid Hudson starts. Dev gets his dream.
I'm gonna be pissed. You once again ran out there to get a free agent to not play.
Yeah,
like it's just.
Well, you still need a backup. You still need depth.
That's true. And then at least it isn't a Bostic.
Oh my gosh, anybody but that dude, man. Anybody but John Bostic.
Man, and
I still think he'll find a way.
I think John Bostic is a good player. I just don't think he should be starting. I think John Bostic is a good team guy. People seem to like him.
Very athletic,
he's excellent against the run, but he's not a modern linebacker.
If you play him downhill, he is good.
Don't put him in coverage ever.
She's always about 5 yards too shallow.
Yep.
Ever. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, do you guys know when the last time this team had an 11-game win season?
Ooh, me.
88.
Me. Call me.
Phil, you know.
1991.
When we won the Super Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl.
Dude, that's insane. Like, we know this, but when it's told to us on social media, like it's in its graphic now, this graphic shows for the audio crowd every team's last 11 win season. And ours is the oldest at 1991. And the next oldest one, I'm looking.
Jaguars.
I don't see anything.
Jaguars in
2007. And after that, it's all 14 and up. So
no. There's a
Dolphins had an 08. You're right. But we are lacking.
And Jets were 2010.
We're lacking.
Yeah.
When did the Lions win 11 games?
Stafford and Megatron. Yeah. They went to the playoffs.
That many games this season.
They beat the Cowboys in the first round. Remember the Dez Bryant? Is it a catch?
Fumble.
Not a catch. Yeah. That was that year.
Yeah, Dez Bryant. That was a catch, by the way. Thank God they didn't say it was. Glad they said it wasn't, but
it was a catch. They called that on
man. I thought he did that on Green Bay. That was the Lions?
No. You're right. That was Green Bay.
You know what though? We win 11 games this year. No matter what happens, Ron's staying.
Oh, of course. I think he's staying,
bro.
I don't know. I that early schedule look. I said 11 games.
You did. I don't think we'll win 11
and
games.
And you know something? That is the highest prediction I've given us in at least a decade.
Our defense has to not get hurt, and our offense has to actually play good. When does that ever happen? When does both of them ever happen? It seems like one's always running good, and the other one's fucked up. Then one's running good, the other
in our favor at some point.
Oh man,
I'm telling you, like I said in the chat, man. History always repeats itself. That's why I don't believe in that Harris kid, man. That Harris kid, I think he's a good player, but he's gonna suck when he's here, man. Second round pick. There's no way that guy's good.
Just because I'm hoping he breaks the second round pick.
I hope he does too. By the way, who do you think would be the starting defensive backfield? Like, is BSJ just out of the starting lineup now? Is that how y'all feel?
No, I still think it'll be. Hold on, are you talking about
two
cornerbacks?
Who's your starting defense right now? If we start today, who you got?
in the front. So you got your big two, right?
Big
No
four,
question.
really.
Big four, no question. Chase, Montez,
Payne,
John Allen, Deron Payne.
John Allen,
Yeah.
Deron Payne,
And then you're gonna have Jamin Davis. And
Jamin
then
Davis.
it's either gonna be Khaleke Hudson or Barton.
Fair.
I think it's gonna be Khaleke Hudson.
Well, let's go back to the safeties. That's
what we're
a little
at.
more defined. So cornerbacks. Okay, safeties, Forrest,
Curl.
and Curl.
You think
Okay.
Forrest starts?
I think he does.
Percy Butler.
So,
Okay. So in lieu of a third linebacker, it's Percy Butler.
No, in
No,
lieu of
the
a third
third
linebacker,
is Curl.
So
Curl's-
Cam Curl's playing downhill. Percy Butler
Cam Curl is playing big nickel.
No, Percy Butler playing slot. And
Nope,
then Forrest is playing deep. Oh, you got Forrest playing slot?
I haven't put any, this is a base big nickel that I'm putting out here, my friends.
Yeah, go for it.
So then your two safeties playing deep are going to be Butler and Forrest. Your question is corner.
You don't got two corners.
Forbes is one.
No, that's a given.
You think so?
So now the second corner is between Fuller and St. Just.
Yeah.
There's no way they put St. Just. St. Just was our best corner last year. No way he comes off the bench.
Now,
no way he comes off the bench.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. We're gonna have so many different packages that whoever is a starter is almost an irrelevant topic when it comes to the backfield, because we're going to be rotating in. We're going to have a different package for everything. So Quan's going to be covering the slot, or you'll have Fuller in a slot, or you'll have Fuller outside. They're going to be rotating guys in and out so frequently.
Well, we're talking about starters today. So you think that BSJ won't be one to start out your base? If Buffalo Nichols on base,
either him or Fuller. It's either him or Fuller.
Now, which one is it, man? Don't give me a or. Which one is it?
One.
Hold on, you said Barton or Khaleke Hudson.
All right, Barton or Khaleke Hudson. Now I'm going Khaleke Hudson. Khaleke Hudson starting. But who's your defensive backfield, man? You got 5, so you got 3 safeties and 2 corners.
I will say this. Damn.
That's right. That's why I can't figure out. That's why I always thought Fuller was going to get cut, man. I was like, it seems logical. He has the most money. He's the oldest. I mean, it seems like that would be the cut.
Fuller's the only one. Fuller had 2 pick sixes last year, too.
Fuller doesn't deserve to be cut. I'm just saying that I think that would have been or you're going to put BSJ on the bench. You rotate them in. We got so much. I understand that one of them's going to be rotated in. I'm asking you, which one's going to be rotated in?
It depends on the team. You make it a matchup.
You're riding the fence, man.
I'm riding the fence because the fact that we're not going to be running base defense 60% of the time.
Oh, we're going to be running Buffalo Nickel. That's our base.
1991.
Hey, our base defense is Buffalo Nickel. Our Buffalo Nickel is 5 defensive backs. Which 5 defensive backs are you starting? That's all I'm asking. Which 5? No one can answer that.
Okay, all right. I would put right now, before without looking at anybody at camp, Fuller.
Yeah, that's why I just don't understand.
BSJ is first off the bench.
I think BSJ was our best defensive back last year, man. Our best corner. I mean, he stays injured, I guess, but I think he's our best corner. It'd be hard for me to put him on I'm telling you, man. I think Harris.
Fuller.
I don't think Harris will be starting, man.
My other thing is that Fuller is more of a ball hawk than BSJ.
Shit.
No, hold on. Fuller gets more big plays than BSJ, right? So that's why I'm thinking Forbes on one side, Fuller on the other. You're be picking off passes left and right.
Man, I think
you can't. You have to be right and exact against those guys.
I think Harris is going to come off that bench. I think they're going 3 corners, 2 safeties.
So you think that, or you go 1 linebacker and 1 big safety.
Could be 1 linebacker, yeah.
And then 5 regular DBs.
Yeah, in Buffalo they do have a lot of times they do have 2 safety at linebacker and 1 linebacker. Yeah. A lot of times last year it was Jamin Davis and then all of the safeties and
Jamin Davis and Curl.
That's personally.
And then you go, and then you have Butler and Forrest in the
Safety.
back,
Yeah.
and then now you got a rotation of Forbes, Quan. Quan will probably play the slot, and then BSJ and Fuller.
Yeah, I think all of them start. I think it's gonna be the big four.
Or do you think Quan's going to take Butler's place?
Nah, I don't think Butler's losing his job to Quan. I think that it's going to be between Quan and another corner, but I think Quan is on the bench, man. I don't think the second round pick's ever going to play anyways. I don't have any faith in that whatsoever, bro. But
Quan is such a wild card because you can put him at corner, slot.
They said the same thing about Butler last year, though. How many times did we see him?
No. Butler was deep safety all the way.
Yeah, but they said he could guard slides and be on the field.
They said that, but he never did.
Was to the end of the very last game of the year, and they had to.
Butler never did in college. Quan did. Quan, if you look at his snap counts and where he lined up, it's almost an even distribution of everywhere.
Sounds like Sewell Cravens to me.
The tweener.
Saying,
tweener.
No, because Sewell Cravens was supposed to be what Cam Curl is.
Yeah, but Sewell Cravens was like maybe 215, maybe 220, if that. He was undersized for that role, in my opinion. I don't know. Either way,
he was so good. He was so good that no other team gave him a shot to play.
Denver did for a hot second. He quit. Then he quit.
He quit again because that's what he does.
Yeah, old Sewell Cravens. Well, that kind of wraps it up for this show this evening. We did talk about a lot of different things. Training camps coming back. The dates have been released. Make sure you go reserve your ticket for Ashburn if that's something that you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Please do. We talked about the meetings coming up for the ownership. So hopefully the team will be sold very soon, and then maybe we might get a acknowledgement on the Hard Knocks. Whether it's us or not, at least we'll know one way or the other whether this team's going to be on Hard Knocks or not. Although I would say I would like to have them. Same with Dev. Phil says wait till next year, and I can totally buy Phil's justification because I'm on board. Saw a little bit of Councilman McDuffie capping to bring the team back to DC. And we have a new dog named Goldie, who's going to be our dog mascot for this year, who Dev said can go kick rocks. Just kidding. Didn't say that. And then, still a lot of free agents out there. None who any of us are really chomping at the bit to go sign. Although there's some scary things. I forget who it was, but one of the Colts players on the last day of OTAs today tore his ACL. That's just terrifying. I guarantee it was an offensive lineman.
It couldn't happen to a better owner.
Yeah, so I guarantee one of those offensive linemen on that list is probably gonna get a phone call. I don't know. It just sucks.
I think it was like a 6th round pick that got hurt though.
Yeah, 5th or 6th round pick. Yeah. Adam Schefter tweeted it. It sure was.
Yeah, it's not going to probably somebody that depended on play.
And Stephon Diggs hasn't shown up for camp yet. Nothing but drama up in the Bills facilities, and they canceled their last mini camp or last OTA practice tomorrow. So there's something brewing up in Buffalo, internal strife, they're calling it. And
we canceled ours. Is something going on?
No, we did just meetings. So coach kind of gave them a down day to do meetings versus outdoor practice. It wasn't, they didn't cancel it. In Buffalo, they just straight up cancel it. So they're working on internal issues, supposedly. I don't know. It ain't us for once. That's all I care about. So I'm not worried about it. So shout out to National Bourbon Day, June 14th. Hopefully you partake. It was fun. Fellas, any shout outs before we shut this bad boy down?
Shout out to go ahead, Dev.
Go ahead. Don't worry.
I was gonna say shout out to me.
Shout out to Phil.
Shout out to me. All right. A year and a half ago, I suffered a spinal subluxation of about 9 vertebrae.
The fuck is that, man?
That's the same injury that happened to Ryan Fitzpatrick's hip that ended his career. All right. I had that in my spine. I got back into the gym. If you know anything about me, you know I love my lifting. And I put 135 on the bar. And it was heavy. And Monday, your boy benched 305.
Yeah.
Yo, sword shit.
Yeah, I failed
tomorrow.
at 315 because I was trying to be greedy. So I maybe gonna try and go for 315 tomorrow.
You're gonna be sore as shit.
No, I'm fine now. But here's the thing: I didn't rest enough between the 305 and the 315 because I was just like, no, I gotta do this and go. Plus, the guy who was spotting me, he wasn't gonna be there forever. So I was just like, I gotta get this done. And then I went to go for 315, and just the adrenaline was already starting to wear off. Like and let me tell you something. It's been a long time since I've tried to max out that heavy. I came home and I was just like,
your central nervous system was probably cooked.
Shot, dude.
Yeah.
I was shot until last night.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. But anyway, so shout out to me, and hopefully tomorrow, which will be tonight when you all hear this, I will be trying to push up 315 just so I can get those 3 plates, and then I never have to do it again because I've gotten it. It's the first time since 19 that I've ever pushed over 300 pounds in a bench press.
Nice.
So, that's 1920 was the last time I was really in the gym until a couple of years ago. And then I got back into it. And then now after I do this, if I can I'm over 300, I'm happy. If I can get 315, that'd be great. And then after this, it's all about cutting weights.
There you go. Dev, what you got?
I'm going to watch the Flash tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Our friend Andy Burrows over the pond gave it horrible reviews.
Really?
Said it was terrible.
How does Limey ass get to see it already?
It's tomorrow. It's the next day over there. So it's already the 15th. They're way ahead of us on the time zone. Don't ask me the exact time zone, but
fucking asshole.
He said it was not good. I was like, the previews were fantastic. In the previews,
every review I watch on YouTube, any review I listen on Spotify said it's a good movie.
Yeah, he could be Marvel biased. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm
not sure.
Weird.
Yeah, DC's trying. It sounds like this is their first stab at a multiverse.
I don't know, man. Like DC, I think is winning all the time. Like people don't think when people say Marvel's better than DC, their idea is always like Justice League. I'll give you that. It's better than Justice League, but you ain't thinking about Joker's a DC movie. Name a Marvel movie better than Joker. Name a Marvel movie better than The Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises or The Watchmen. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is that
those are also movies.
The good thing about the reason why Marvel is doing well is that A, they had a more cohesive universe formed, and B, Marvel is just better for normies.
They got Spider-Man, dog. Spider-Man's on
the
That kind of trumps everything. Because DC has way better characters, man. Nothing over there is better than Batman, Superman. And
I wish they would just give it up and just do an entire Injustice universe.
They are doing that. That's what it's working towards.
I know, but they do the game and the comic tie-ins, and I love Injustice is the only thing in comics that I still follow. Because
the last series in Justice Comics, He-Man was the guy that saved the day. He-Man also is a DC comic.
Like the He-Man?
She-Ra,
He-Man?
Hordak, all of them are in the new Injustice comic. It ain't new. It came out like last year, I think. But
Steve, have you ever checked out the Injustice series?
I know of it. I've seen it on PlayStation.
I'll send you a link where you can read all of them on the internet for free.
Okay.
Comic Storian actually reads them and shows the panels on YouTube, and I'm telling you, it would make like a great. You could do endless movies with Injustice.
The problem with Injustice the comic though, you'd have to set up so many backstories for people to understand who the guys are. Like, there's a lot of guys that don't have a big name.
I would work towards it. I would work towards it.
I think that's what they're doing with the Flash going back and forth in the future and coming back to Spider-Man and telling them, "Hey, keep an eye on Lois Lane." I think that they're all trying to set up the Injustice League. By the way, Clooney's in the Flash. They've confirmed, even though CGI Superman from the old school, Christopher Reeves. They got the Nicolas Cage Superman fighting the Spider in it. Yeah, Michael Keaton's in it also.
Yeah,
George Clooney. The Flash from the CW, all of them are supposed to be in this. So
they need to set up, because Injustice to me is the best thing any comic book company has done.
Flashpoint's still pretty good, man. Flashpoint, and then the Owls, the Owl group in what is it in Batman?
Yeah,
the Quarter Owls. Those are The Court of Owls needs to be the next Batman story, man. That was the best one. Or the Long Halloween, which they've done an animated movie. That's awesome. By the way, like those.
I really wish they would redo the Nightfall story.
All right, we're talking about
with Bane.
Bane, yeah.
But can we get a Bane that looks like Bane?
Nah, man, you don't like the Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy looked like
he was born.
Tom Hardy was a jag.
I was born in it. Hey,
Bane is supposed to be like Kevin Nash, but twice as muscular. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be huge.
Like Undertaker huge.
Yes.
Kane huge.
He's gotta be like, 6'9", 6'10" plus, and then you put him in lifts to make him even taller. Like, and
I think the problem is he also has to be able to act. I think the problem is he also has to be able to act.
Yeah. And
all right.
hands.
Well, hey, Kevin Nash. I'm calling for Kevin Nash to be Bane if he can develop a. Oh, the other thing is he's got to be Latino too, because Bane was Latino.
Yeah, every time they redid it.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Bane was Latino. That's why he had the luchador mask on.
Folly of Doer is coming out next. I guess a Joker movie with Lady Gaga playing girl
by playing Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
That should be pretty good. Swamp Thing will be coming out. Blue Beetle is the next movie. I can't wait for Blue Beetle.
Awesome. Blue Beetle will be
Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, but it's going to be the movie that people don't take seriously at first, and it turns out to be really good.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy. No one thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be anything, and then they watched it, and it was great. And I think that they could do that with Blue Beetle, because a lot of people don't like Blue Beetle. No, I shouldn't say don't like them. They don't know Blue Beetle.
James Gunn, same guy did the Guardians, so.
He's also the same one who did the second incarnation of Suicide Squad. So
I don't think it was a horrible movie, but it was. I think it was better than the first one, dog. The first one was terrible because why they fought no one. Why didn't you make the Joker the bad guy? That would have been a way better movie. Why are you fighting this damn thing at the end of these little fire and ice witches or whatever the fuck, man?
Yeah.
That wasn't. Anytime your last fight is a CGI character, it's not a good movie, man.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
DC, if you're listening, we'll take small credits.
Yes, DC. Give credit where credit due. So, all right.
Give us a fractional percentage of the hundreds of millions of dollars you'll make. We'll be cool.
From this point forward, we are in the hurry up and wait mode.
Fast Furious X, it was decent too, but it's the same. Like every Fast Furious is basically the same. It's blah blah blah, cliche. Oh, I love you, Dad. You're not scared of anything, and of course his answer is I'm scared of losing you, family. I'm going to go in here and catch these guys. Y'all go ahead without me. No, we're going together, family. That's basically the entire movie for like 3 hours.
And then I heard it was supposed to be done, but they left it open for another one.
There is another. They already did the other one. They're just going to release it next year. Yeah, it's definitely part 2.
Exactly.
The last episode.
So
that's a shame because I really thought that when they had that send off for Paul Walker, I was like,
no, they've made 3 since then.
Yeah, they got Paul Walker in this one, man.
I know when they send off
Paul Walker,
like
Paul Walker's in the last one, bro.
Man, make an album just like Tupac still, man. All right. We appreciate you tuning in. Please go like and subscribe. Like I said, you can catch us on all of your audio podcast platforms. We really do appreciate you. Please share this with anyone you think might like it. Like I said, we are more than a sports podcast. We are Command This. It's June 14th. We're signing off. Thank you very much. As always, peace.
Peace.
And hail. We out.